Hello, this is OldCrowBalthazor. Welcome to Balthazar Strategic Arcana. So I'm happy to announce that I have a new multiplayer series that's going with another YouTuber. The channel is called Strategy Wolf Games. Well, we just refer to my opponent as Wolf. Anyway, we're going to be playing the 1846 Conquest of Mexico scenario, which is basically, as Americans, we know it as the Mexican War, the Mexican-American War. It is a great scenario. So Wolf and I, we've been talking about doing a series of something. His channel's slick, by the way. There'll be a link to his channel in the description and all the videos too that we're going to do. Anyway, I'm going to be playing Mexico. He's going to be playing the United States. We're going to go look at this. Now, this scenario is really interesting. This war is really interesting too, because the United States made a big grab and took all of New Mexico, Arizona, California, Colorado, even though most of this was indigenous peoples, right? And like the Apache, the Comanche, you know, all the First Nations folks, right? Well, Manifest Destiny just urged the United States to push and connect with the Pacific there. So anyway, the forces are interesting. It's small, and the area that we're going to be fighting into is huge. We'll go look at the victory or at the strategy guide here in a little bit, but I was going to go and look at the map. And I know Mexico very well, at least parts of it. I spent a lot of time, particularly in the south and then in the far northwest. But let's just go look how far this goes. And I'll talk about the victory conditions. Here's New Mexico here. Here's Santa Fe. I mean, this town's over 400 years old, right? The Spanish conquistadors got in here. There are some Native American groups that are independent. Basically, here the Navajo, at Bear Spring, the Zuni, Pueblo, and down below, we have the Apaches at Apache Pass. Now there's a large area of this map that's kind of no man's land here. Well, this is what we would call what's where the Comancheria, basically the Comanches and other groups pretty much operated around here, and it was in hospital, and they fought both sides. So there's this big no man's area both on the future boundary of the United States and Mexico, where we can't get in there. Anyway, it's quite interesting. We'll look at all these FS objectives. So basically, it's going to be small forces. Mexico's generals aren't very good. I've got Fog of War off, so we can just take a look at the forces around. Arrayed anyway. Excuse me, it's late here. We got here General Taylor. Well, Zachary Taylor. He's an 8, and Arista, one of my best generals, he's a 5. So we got problems here. Interesting, we got different kinds of units too. We have regulars, we have brigades, and we have regiments, which are weaker. Got engineers over here. So the United States, well, they have better generals, and eventually they might have more numerous forces than us, even though the money that we both are making is about the same. They do have an advantage, is we don't have a navy. They can land anywhere. And what they're going to want to do to beat Mexico is they're going to need to take Mexico City, which is way down here. And here's the regiment, by the way. Chihuahua, Monterey, and Santa Fe. Now here's Monterey right here. It's not far from the Texican border. And by the way, this particular conflict started over the Nueces Strip. Here's the Rio Grande here, right, which you think is a natural boundary. The Texas has got its independence, and just recently joined the United States. And there was a dispute here. Mexico said this was theirs. This was the deal with Texas, and you know the United States was a little aggro. Said no, it's the Rio Grande, maybe even beyond. So Anyway, this is where the conflict's going to begin, and the Mexicans get the first move, and they did raid across the Rio Grande. This was theirs. This is what they said. I mean, they had lost Texas already. Anyway, let's get back to it. So for the United States, I mean, they're going to have to take Monterey. It's not too far away, but then it gets mountainous. Another objective is way over here is Chihuahua. Way deep here. That's a lot of desert, and as you can tell, there's not a lot of roads of supply here. He can't go through here. This is Comanche land here, but if he did come after me, he'd have to go through here. And here's Buena Vista and Saltillo. This is where a big battle happened historically, and it's a pass. There's two passes here. It's a choke point. So I don't want to discuss strategy here because me and Wolf are going to be playing this at our leisure, and we'll talk about the schedule, how we're going to do this. A little bit different than what I have been doing with other people, because we want to take our time with this and enjoy it. And who knows? Maybe if this all works out, I don't really care who wins or loses, but we want to entertain you guys, and a little bit of history in between, and we might have something going on in the future. Anyway, the United States also needs to take Santa Fe. Now, that's a long ways from anything. This is all Indian country, pretty much. There is a little enclave here the United States owns, and there'll be a General Kearney that'll be able to come down to Santa Fe Trail, which is this. Now, there's also a long road here, but you can't get across it. Again, Comanches. At least a little portion of it here. So, whoops, excuse me. Yeah. So let's go down. Let's go down here. So two very important objectives for the United States, and what I'm going to try to defend, it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to try it, is Tampico. It's a major port. And then Veracruz, which has a fort. Now, interestingly, this is some rough terrain here. I mean, it's jungle. I know this area really well, especially down here in Tabasco. Let's go take a look at that. I don't think we're going to see much going on here, but you never know. But basically, he's going to be coming to me, right? And that's where I have an advantage. If he just got the numbers on me, I got the terrain. And if we zoom in here, these are all dirt roads. There's no paved road except for maybe, in the Zocalo, which is squares of these cities. And, pretty much it's all dirt. There might be cobblestones and all, so a lot of these towns are old. I mean, they're old. There's that too, but anyway, there's another thing, that I know, and that is this whole area here, about 3 hexes in from the sea, is disease prone to American troops. So I got to try to keep him on the coastal littoral as long as possible if he does manage to land down here. And they won't be able to buy Marines and stuff. Curiously, there's a port here of no town. I was thinking maybe it's one of those smuggler places, man. Soto La Marina. And, there was a lot of piracy, especially, a lot earlier than now. And there was, so who knows? Maybe it was a pirate utopia. Down here, the Yucatan had split away. There was an American adventurer that got involved, and they succeeded from Mexico at this time. Didn't last for long, but I know this area really, really well, by the way, and it's beautiful. Here's Flores. I've been here, and Palenque, been here. This place is magical. San Cristobal, I spent a lot of time here. I don't think we're going to see a lot of action down here, but anyway, it's huge. Also, what's going out? What else? Oh, this is part of Baja, but for game mechanic reasons, this is going to be California, and they'll create the Big Bear Republic, basically, and the United States will annex it, and I have a convoy line comes from the UK here, and there'll be an American frigate that's going to show up over here and probably dink this line. It's theoretically possible. I was looking at the United States side. that he could get troops over here and try to do landings. Here's Mazatlan, pretty famous tourist place. Sonoma, pretty famous cartel area now. I wouldn't recommend going there anymore. This is beautiful. Here's Jalisco, Colima. Here's Acapulco. A lot of these names people know. Here's Oaxaca. The Beatles used to go down there for the black mushrooms. I'll say no more. Let's see. So anyway, it is an interesting scenario. We just started playing it. And let's go look here. Here's a strategy guide that comes with the game. I'm not going to go through the entire thing. But we're going to go look at the victory conditions and a reference map. I can read this introduction. 15 years before the beginning of the Civil War, another conflict captured the attention of the people of North America. The Mexican War had its origins in the Revolution and then annexation of Texas. And its first battle was the skirmish near the Rio Grande. But within weeks, it would expand to become a battle determining the fate of a continent. For Mexico, it turned the humiliation of Texas into a great national disaster, witnessing the triumphant return of General Santa Anna from exile. And yeah, he will be a feature in this war. He does show back up. There's a little spoiler for you. Yeah, I get Santa Anna. And he ain't that great of a general. Okay, and we'll continue here. And the subsequent annihilation of his armies, leaving a nation bereft not only of glory, but also half of its pre-war territory. To the United States, it was a culmination of the era of manifest destiny, the opportunity for the American eagle to spread its wings from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Well, what do you know? Many famous leaders, including Ulysses Grant, James Longstreet, George McClellan, and Robert E. Lee, gained their first military experience on the battlefields of Mexico, and that's interesting, because these people fought together, and then they fought against each other in the American Civil War. The victory of Buena Vista won Zachary Taylor the presidency in 1848, and the landing at Veracruz and the capture of Mexico City cemented Winfield Scott's place as one of history's greatest generals. In 1846, Conquest Mexico, will you take either the Mexican or American side in this epic conflict? Can you win the Mexican War? Well, I'm taking Mexico. Yes, I am. There's another, let's see. Here's a great feature of this. There's a reference map that comes with this. So you can see Alta California here. All this gets grabbed by the United States. The one part that didn't was Baja California, even though the place is overrun by American tourists now. But this was Texas has succeeded. This was disputed here, this whole area. This is part of Colorado now. This is how far the line. This right here, this is the border, would be Oregon and California. That border's still there, by the way. But this was all part of Mexico. So, Yucatan succeeds. So, yeah, not only is this scenario great, I love it so far. It's extremely interesting, but if you're unfamiliar with Mexico, you'll get familiar with it pretty quick. And of course, this is 1846, so, they had roads, a lot of roads. They built, the Spanish were there for 400 years, right? Defeated the Aztecs of Mexico. And the Mayas had collapsed by the time they got in down there, even though there was resistance. Here's the victory conditions. Campaign's victory conditions are as follows. USA major victory. They hold New Orleans, Austin, Texas, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Chihuahua, Monterrey, Veracruz, Mexico City. Mexican major victory. Mexico City, San Luis Potosi, Veracruz, Chihuahua, Monterrey, and Austin, Texas. We'll go look at the map one last time. It's a ways away. I might be able to do it. We don't know. I don't know, but I figured out a way it might happen. Okay, USA minor victory. They hold New Orleans, Austin, Santa Fe, and either Chihuahua or Monterey. That's essentially the northern part of Mexico, the very far northeastern part, Chihuahua and Monterey, and the northern center part. But they can get these. But they only need one, Monterey or Chihuahua. The Mexican minor victory. I hold Mexico City, San Luis Potosi, Veracruz, Chihuahua, and Monterey. So, and that is probably going to be very difficult. So, I could see where in the cards it could be a stalemate. He would have, anyway, well, I don't know how this is going to play out. So, again, we've been playing still. So, let's go look. Where's Austin? See, here's Austin right here. Austin, Texas, or no, that's San Antonio. Oh, it's way up here. Well, that's even harder. Well, that's right on the borderlands with the Comanche, man. Yeah, the frontier hadn't been pushed west very far. As a matter of fact, in well, American Civil War, this is actually where it ended up, because they had pushed into here, and because of the war, well, it was all abandoned. Anyway, I think that's it. So anyway, the other thing too is Strategy Wolf Games. He's playing. On his channel. He has and I've been watching it too. He's got some American Civil War multiplayer matches. I think one's still going on now. He had one last year. That's how I became aware of him. And but he's also got the game Victoria 3, which is a great game. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm thinking about buying it. I had played Victoria 2, and it was quite a while ago. Anyway, he's playing Mexico, so he's got a long-running series of Mexico. Oh, perfect segue. So I thought, I contacted him and thought, well, maybe we could try this. I haven't tried it, and I did test this about 5 turns in, just on both sides of hot seat, just get a feel that's like, oh, this might be great. Big, giant countryside, big country, small forces. The other thing is, too, about American Civil War, as opposed to some of the other SC games, the ambush mechanic is unforgiving. So it's going to be really key for the Mexicans to try to lure these guys in ambushes. So some of these units here makes cavalry even more valuable. It's not very strong, but it can spot 3 and it can move 7 hexes. And so the force marching potential is also for raids and stuff. I'll just show you here. Look at how far they can go in one shot. But yeah, ambushes can be devastating. They always are bad if you run into an unspotted unit in SC, but they're designed in American Civil War to be even more lethal. So both sides are going to have to be careful. Anyway, yeah, man, I'm excited for this. The schedule, what we're going to do is instead of having each one of us have these turns go up daily, we're gonna stagger it every other day. And we finally settled on a schedule. I believe, let me look here. I believe that I'm going to be starting on February 25th. My first turn is Mexico, and then his is going to be February 26th, and that's how we're going to do it. So my first turn is Mexico will be day 1. Day 2 of this joint production will be you'll be watching the United States, and then day 3 it'll be us. And so it'll stretch it out, but that's fine. There's 48 turns. Whether we're going to get through all 48 turns or one side or the other is totally defeated, I don't know. But it'll be a long series, but you know, they aren't hour and a half long videos like my World War II ones. They just got limited forces, but the strategy involved here is still on epic scale because of the size of the area that we're going to be operating in, and dealing things with supply and all that, and then each other's strategy. So anyway, I hope you guys come and watch this, and go ahead and check out his channel. Again, the link will be in the channel at Strategy Wolf Games. I really like his channel, and if anyone's unaware of it, they should go over and take a look at it, maybe subscribe. Anyway, it'll be cool. You'll be able to have time to watch both points of view. So, and again, we want to have fun with this thing. So, and we are. So far, I can just tell you that. We're not going to be too far ahead of when this video goes up, but yeah. All right. Well, this is OldCrowBalthazor. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the virtual battlefields. I am gone.